Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Kasia if you don't know me. I'm currently in a hospital and little Rosie is with me. We're 2 days after C-sections. I'm recovering and Rosie is currently sleeping and resting. She's a cutie, she's adorable, and she's probably the best behaved baby I've ever seen. I feel really lucky I have her. I decided to record it here because I just don't want to forget the experience. I had very positive birth, I must say, in the Portland hospital. I received a lot of help, so I just want to share it. So first of all, C-section. So I was able to choose my own music, which put me in the relaxation mode. My mom was there with me. They started with injection in the spine for local anesthetic. It was a little bit painful before they found the right spot, but it wasn't too bad. Definitely nothing like natural labor. So few minutes afterwards, I started feeling little needles in my legs. And basically within 10-15 minutes I was paralyzed from my ribcage down. I couldn't feel anything apart from the needles, and definitely I couldn't move at all. I was fully awake though, and I was behind a screen, which was basically my nightgown, so I couldn't see anything, and thank God, because mentally I just couldn't cope with that. Knowing that I was being cut is one thing, but seeing that would be just too much. So yeah, so I was behind the curtain, and I couldn't feel much. I just knew what they were doing based on what they were saying. So they were explaining what's happening at the moment. So I received Rosie pretty quickly, and I asked for early skin to skin. So she was basically delivered the moment she was out. So she was put on my chest. So I could have skin to skin with her. And it was the most beautiful moment of my life, to be honest. I fell into tears. I was just so emotional. Before, when I was still pregnant, I was a bit afraid that I wouldn't feel connected to her when I would see her. And thank God I was wrong, because I felt the instant surge of emotions very quickly. Yes, so this was a beautiful moment. Then they delivered the placenta. My mom clamped the cord. We chose the delayed cord clamping, and they cleaned Rosie in the meantime, and they gave me after cleaning and measuring very briefly. And then when I had another skin to skin after cleaning her, they basically sewed the incision. I think the whole procedure took around 2 hours maybe. I couldn't feel the time because it's just so loaded with emotions that time flies. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I didn't feel any pain during labor. With C-section, it's mainly recovery that's painful and timey. So afterwards, they brought me to a room for 30 minutes observation with the baby, and then I was brought to my room. That's pretty much it. It was evening, and I thought it was good timing, but oh boy, I was wrong. So at night, because you cannot walk after C-section for 6 hours because your legs are still paralyzed, so they put the compression machine on my legs, which was making very, very loud noises, and I completely couldn't sleep, although I was just knackered after all these medicines. And it was really struggle. And also, like, after all this birth and generally because of the hormones, because of the medication and so on. So I was under a lot of adrenaline, so that was another reason I couldn't sleep. So that was a tough night. The next day I could finally have a sleep during the day, quite a lot of naps. And also because the baby usually for the first 24 hours is very relaxed, also tired after labor. So Rosie was very supportive of my rest, and also the hospital was very supportive. Also during the first day of my stay, I already had appointment with pediatrician, with lactation consultant, with surgeon, because the pediatrician saw that her tongue tie she has a tongue tie, so basically it affects the breastfeeding, so it was a little bit painful, so they fixed it the same day. She also had appointment I had appointment with the registration office, so I managed to register her already first day after labor. And I had the photo shoot, so it was very productive day. And the next day I had the ear consultant. So basically within 2 days of my stay, I did the most important appointments, and I got plenty of help from midwives regarding breastfeeding, nappies, and generally care over newborn. And also, like, it's helpful when after a C-section someone is giving you the baby for feeding. It's because the movement is quite limited, let's put it this way. So for example, the next morning after the surgery, first of all, I still couldn't walk, not because of the numbness, but because of the pain. And whenever I would try, the medication was making me dizzy. So the first time I actually would get up from the bed was late afternoon. And also the first time I went to toilet was even later in the evening, I think. Yeah, so the first walk is the most difficult. It's very painful, but then it gets easier. And for example, the second day I was already able to get up from the bed myself. Recovery takes time. I think they say minimum 6 weeks, more or less. But if you want to go back, for example, to running, it can take even 3-4 months. So yeah, it's lengthy. But depends on why you're deciding on C-section. Sometimes it's emergency, so I think it's not too bad, to be honest. Another thing I wanted to point out is the breastfeeding. If you want to breastfeed, lactation develops initially slowly, so it's important first of all to have patience, and there might be some challenges. So for example, I still cannot feed her fully because the lactation develops within 3 to 5 days after the labor, so it's gradual. It's not recommended actually to use the breast pump, because it may cause excessive lactation, and then it will be difficult to stop, and there will be excessive production. So basically, for now, I'm mixing breast milk with the formula milk, and I'm hoping to switch to fully breastfeeding, but fingers crossed.